Hey guys, what's up? This is Helsing920 and it's time for a reaction and review. And tonight's reaction and review is one that a lot of people have requested, shockingly. Seriously guys, I honestly am surprised that a whole lot of people were telling me that I had to cover this one. It just seems so bizarre. The film, and I'm going to try to pronounce this as best I can, is Salò, or the 120 Days of Sodom. This is an Italian film from 1975, and the only thing that I have bothered to look into on this prior to jumping in, since you guys freaking know that my one big rule is I go into the film blind. The only thing I have learned about it before jumping into it tonight is that it's based on a book written by the Marquis de Sade. That's kind of sort of a red flag right there. Also, as I look at the video file here, this one is 2 minutes longer than Tokyo Gore Police, which means this is officially the longest film I have ever done. So, I am about to find out if I'm about to find out if the next hour and 51 minutes are going to be pure hell, or if this film somehow will come out as a miracle. And since Tokyo Gore Police has shown us that I can find good movies, that means that there is hope for this one. So, without further ado, guys, it's time to kick off Salò, or the 120 Days of Sodom. Well, I do have to say that this opening music's at least kind of peppy and cheerful. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that the mood is going to change real quick, but I'm still going to hope. You know, I seriously hope that something happens here, because, you know, every single person who's telling me about, this movie was talking about how it's just so offensive, and now we are about 7 minutes in so far. It's kind of dull, actually. Okay, never mind. Now we have someone spitting. And slapping, too. Okay, this actually might turn into something good. Okay, this is... oh, boy. I seriously thought that this film was going to have a whole lot of things. I didn't know I was going to be getting dick in about 10.5 minutes in. This film, I think, has just set a record for just awkwardness. Okay, so these, guys actually have standards, sort of. They are not going to accept a virgin if she's missing a tooth. Somewhat odd standards, but at least it's something. So, if I'm to understand, the daily schedule for this compound is story time followed by orgies. Okay. It's goofy, but I'm just going to pretend that makes sense. Okay. This story is supposed to turn on people. It's just a little bit nasty, really. Damn. Well, this movie certainly is a few different shades of fucked up now, isn't it? Holy hell. I honestly, guys, I'm a little bit speechless about what I just saw. That doesn't normally happen. I'm really sorry, guys, that I have nothing to really say. It's just... oh boy. We get, gay sex in a horrible song. Fun. So the girls are getting dick-holding classes in the middle of dinner. The hell is going on? What sense is any of this supposed to make? So, I guess weddings in this film consist of one of the friggin' libertines running around making out with everyone who's not the bride or groom. Interesting. And ridiculously creepy. Oh boy, guys, it's time for another boring story. It's supposed to be sexually awesome, but it's actually just probably going to be as stupid as the others. This film is really quickly running out of steam. Okay, this next part of the film is called the Circle of Shit. I am horribly afraid about exactly what the hell that is going to entail. Oh, man. This story is nauseating. Oh, God. Oh, God damn. Oh boy, guys. It's a shit-eating scene. Oh, shut up. The scene is disgusting. Wow. This is beyond disgusting. It's even more shit-eating. And I seriously am getting ready to puke here. Ooh. Well, it was only a matter of time before we got to somebody drinking piss, kind of. Ugh. This movie is just disgusting. And now we moved on to the Circle of Blood. For some reason, this almost seems like a breath of fresh air since we just left the Circle of Shit. Hopefully, this film will improve a little. Okay, this section of the movie, as I've stated before, is called the Circle of Blood. So far, there's been no blood. It's really funny because when they went into the Circle of Shit, we were into shit eating within a couple of minutes. I'm screaming false advertising right now. Wow. Even after somebody is shot dead, there's almost no blood. I'm sorry, guys. I am seriously getting, I'm seriously getting, hung up on that. There's no frickin' blood in the Circle of Blood. And another gunshot, another person dead, almost zero blood. I cry foul. Okay. Again, I kind of sort of feel like mentioning this. We have more shit, but no blood in the Circle of Blood. I am going to continue to gripe on this and harp on it until I see a goddamned blood, bath that matches the amount of shit that was in the Circle of Shit. Okay. They just lit a guy's dick on fire. I'm not even kidding, folks. If you seriously want to watch this movie, don't know why you'd want to. I want you to be warned. A guy's dick gets set on fire. Okay. I guess after complaining about the lack of blood in the Circle of Blood, I didn't get blood, but I got something that was just as nasty. I got an eyeball that was popped out with a frickin' knife. At least it was kind of cool looking. Wow. This is sort of a first, guys. This movie doesn't have closing credits, so I don't have to say I'm going to shut it off. Wow. Well, I just survived Salò, and, when a lot of people were telling me that I had to watch this one, and that this one was going to be the one to make me, vomit on camera, I really sort of went into it expecting something about as graphic as Serbian film, where freaking Serbian film was trying to go for the really, really graphic, and you wound up just, looking at it, and you just sort of felt a little bit easy. This film, on the other hand, is ridiculously tame. Minus, of course, the circle of shit. Unless you happen to have a thing about, shit eating, then you're going to find that entire segment to be nasty and disgusting. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I sat here for the last hour and 52 minutes, roughly, and I'm going to say this right now. I have seen much more graphic films. I've seen films that are much more disturbing. However, I do have to grant the film a little bit of, I have to cut it a little bit of slack because it is from 1975. And if we were to look back at everything that I've done just in this series alone, this is the oldest film I have covered. However, that still, I am still able to sit down and tell you that it really is not worth your time. Even if you happen to be a fan of like nauseating films, this thing, it really just kind of sort of has like one or two bits. One bit being rather large, but still, there's only like one or two chunks in the entire film that are just nasty. The rest of it's basically just shock for the sake of being shocking. And it kind of fails because, well, or correction, it is kind of shocking the first time, and then they do it again and again and again, and the shock becomes less and less and less prevalent. And I can tell that this film was made to shock, and to be totally fair, it really doesn't. Minus, like I keep saying, minus the circly shit, the rest of it is sort of, ho-hum, even by 1970s standards. I mean, I have seen films from the mid to late 70s that were nastier than, this was. So, I mean, there really isn't a positive I can throw onto it, and I really cannot recommend it to anybody for any reason, because everyone who's really into like exploitation films are really going to dislike it because it really doesn't know what to do. Like I stated, it basically just keeps on hitting the same couple of notes, and that's it. That is all that is all that the filmmakers knew how to do, was basically just butt sex and shit eating. Like that is pretty much the extent of the shock. And they tried to make it a little bit more graphic at the very end with this really long extended torture sequence, but sadly that also falls completely and totally flat because of how it was filmed. It was filmed from the point of view of a balcony. So you really can't see anything. It's basically just a bunch of bodies like writhing around. It really just ultimately is not a good film in any way. And I seriously cannot really talk about the story because I am just going to assume that the version I saw had really awful subs on it, because I had no clue what in the hell was going on at all. Now once again, that honestly means that I either got really bad subs on this copy, or the movie has almost no real story and just wants to try to shock you for 2 hours. And again, it fails miserably. I really, guys, just don't know what else to say. This film, it was much, much less shocking and more boring than it was anything else. I mean, it just drones on, and then there are those like couple of scenes. You see them and you just sort of feel a little bit sick, and then they keep doing the same damn thing. And yeah, I seriously, guys, am somewhat speechless. This was probably one of the worst films I've ever seen, and that honestly is not even talking about it from a graphic sickening sense, just more in the sense that it was filmed poorly, it was lit poorly, it was written poorly. It's just 2 hours of failure, and I kind of sort of wish that I got those 2 hours back. But, well, that is it, guys, for another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I'll see you all in the near future. Peace.